Rays are one win away from making franchise history.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
He's Ulysses Zambrano, and I'm Kevin Weiss.
And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Join all the action at FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer this season.
Later on today's show, the Rays rotation may be out of the woods with injuries in a few minutes. Patience is a virtue with top hitting prospects. But to start, something special can happen with one more win in Sacramento.
That's right, Kevin. The Rays have never finished a road trip of 9+ games undefeated, okay? And they can do that today against the Athletics. I got that information from Rich Hollenberg, who says Rays baseball have never finished a road trip of 9+ games undefeated. Only 3 times have they just lost once, 2004, 2010, and 2020. A chance to make history today in Sacramento. And that would be so fantastic because the Rays had been winning prior to this West Coast trip, but the offense hadn't really been clicking in all cylinders. They were just kind of surviving because of their great pitching. But this time around in the West Coast, yes, I know most of the damage offensively has been against the lowly Rockies and the lowly Athletics. Regardless of who you're facing, they're still MLB teams, and you're putting the type of offenses and performances that you are highlighted yesterday with a 12-4 tremendous Tuesday night game.
Hey, I kind of called my shot that the Rays have a really good chance to sweep after coming back on Monday very late into the evening. And then you see what they do yesterday with a 12-4 drubbing. And now with a mid-afternoon game, I think the Rays are really swimming. And look, yes, even though they're bad major league teams, they're still major league teams. And sometimes you need a little bit of a tune-up. You need a confidence builder in Coors Field and Suter Ballpark to get things going. I mean, I don't even know how the Athletics show up with any modicum of confidence or hope or belief that they can win on Wednesday afternoon with Drew Rasmussen on the mound. I mean, look, it's great that Taylor Walls hit 2 home runs, one from each side of the plate. But if that's not a demoralization to the entire Athletics team, their pitching staff, everybody, I don't know what is. And not just those 2 home runs. I mean, he's arguably the player of the game from last night, but the fact that the Rays knocked out 6 dingers in that game. And look, the Athletics aren't rolling out Tim Hudson or Mark Mulder today. I mean, it's another guy with, I think, a 7+ ERA. So unless the Rays really, just are totally lackadaisical and mistake driven, I mean, if you want to put your money on the Rays to win this game, I would second that.
The green Skittles might come in handy today against that.
Put your mortgage payment on the Rays today.
Right, yeah. Don't do that. With a total of 6 home runs hit yesterday by the Rays, they tied the record for their most home runs in a single game as a franchise. Like, that's how good the offense was yesterday. But it wasn't only the offense, of course. It was our first complete game of the season. Nick Martinez, he has been phenomenal this season with a 12-3 record, a 2.74 ERA, a 3.96 FIP, a 2.3 F4, and yesterday, 9 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs. 2 of them came in the 9th inning, home run, 5 Ks, no walks. He has been phenomenal this season, not only with his performance on the field, but also in the clubhouse. Everybody just raves about what Nick Martinez does for the team and chemistry and in the clubhouse. I will say, when you look at the expected data, for example, his expected ERA is 4.43, not the shiny 2.74 that he carries. And the expected FIP is at 4.54. Not the shiny 3.96 that he's got. So we are literally getting best case scenario here for Nick Martinez. The only thing that we need to hope as Rays fans is that this keeps going for 3 more months. Just give us best case scenario of 3 more months, and then we can, throw those stats out of the water. But for now, everything is working perfectly for Nick Martinez in the Rays.
Yeah, you hope that, with the lack of strikeout ability that his MO for getting through a ball game is able to hold up with the playoffs, where there's better lineups and a ball that might be a fly out turns into a home run because you have better hitters that you're facing. So that's something to look at where, hey, what he's got is what he's got. He's got a 12-3 record and 2.74 ERA, and he just pitched a complete game. Walks, by the way, which, I mean, that's part of the battle is if you're able to keep that walk rate low, you can prevent a lot of those, 2 and 3 run home runs. So
yeah,
I am very interested to see how Nick Martinez will do in the postseason with his style of play. And I know that, oftentimes mutual options don't get picked up, but this is one, if you're the Rays, I mean, you got to pick up that mutual option in 2027. I mean, how do you say no to that? So there's that. And then, extremely efficient, just 101 pitches through 9 innings. That's what you're looking for. I mean, part of you says, well, you want to save Nick Martinez for the playoffs. Then another part of you says, well, you also want to rest the bullpen. As we've said earlier this week, innings have to be thrown, whether it's by the starters or the bullpen arms. Or if you're in a blowout, if you're getting blown out by 8 or 9 runs, then you bring in a Brett Phillips or something like that to close out the game. But I think, this type of effort really allows you to rest that bullpen. And I think save the bullets, where I would imagine the Rays could really focus on being bullpen heavy in the playoffs, where even if Nick Martinez and Drew Rasmussen and all these other guys are going strong, really kind of sticking to the no more than 3 times through the order, or hey, once that 3rd time through the order comes up, we're going to give you a different look, whether it's Tyler Wells or Kevin Kelly or Brian Baker or on and on the list it goes. So you just got to be really proud of what the Rays put forth offensively, but just as impressive, like you mentioned, was the output from Nick Martinez. And I would have never guessed it in a million years. I thought entering the season, okay, you go out of Nick Martinez, I would have been happy with, hey, give us 140 innings and have a 4.1 ERA.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the expectation is. And it kind of makes you lick your chops about, hey, if they're able to do this with Nick Martinez, what's Freddie Peralta going to look like in starts 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the Rays?
And the thing is with Nick, you were hoping for something like that, like what you're saying, 4.10 ERA, just be healthy most of the season. Don't give us a Waka 2021 type of performance. Just kind of go in the middle. And he's legitimately going to get Cy Young votes. Like that's
you have to. If you have a sub-3 ERA and you pitch a full season, you better. I think
that's amazing.
I mean, he's not going to win the Cy Young just because the competition is so tough, and he is missing that in your face strikeout number. But everything else he's done for the Rays. But at the same time, you do look at that xERA and xFIP and you say, I mean, is that where in the playoffs that is going to kind of show itself a little bit? That's still undetermined, because I mean, when you're facing the Athletics without some key dudes in the lineup and you're facing the Rockies and all these other teams, like, it's easy. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easier to coast through them.
Through that lineup.
What's it like if you're facing the Yankees or the Dodgers or whomever?
Right. And what's still undetermined is the fandom and the relationship currently with one Carson Williams.
Well, running a business shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that were never designed to work together. One app for accounting, another for inventory, another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. Well, that's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, everything works in one place, helping your team move faster, stay organized, and focus on growing the business instead of managing software. The best organizations know that success isn't just about talent, it's about having everyone working together toward the same goal. And that's true in sports, just like it is in business. Great organizations win because operations matter, and that's why you should get Odoo. Try for free today at odoo.com/locked on. That's ODOO.com/locked locked.
Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a home run, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with everyday's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. So, are you ready to play your game today? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who is hitting a home run. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB. Thank you so much for listening to Locked On Race and making us your first listen every single day. Enough with the pitchforks on Carson Williams, people. My goodness. Everybody's throwing hot takes about Carson Williams. Enough. I beg Race fandom, just stop it. You don't look good when you do this because...
Hey, he hit a garbage time home run last night, so he's got one on the board.
He's got one on the board. Okay, and first of all, look, he's 23 years old. I'm going to just give you all of the context here, people.
Yeah.
Carson Williams is 23 years old, and everybody is hammering on this kid because after 146 plate appearances in 2 different seasons, he's not coming up big. Yeah. It's 146 plate appearances. That is not enough of a sample size for a prospect. Also, they gave him a cup of coffee last year, which obviously it's a normal thing to do for a top prospect. But this year, we even commented, Kevin, they put him down in the minors. There's a Taylor Walls injury, and then they're like, oh, he's our opening day shortstop. Remember that? So, like, he wasn't even supposed to be the guy.
Right.
He is still not there yet. And oh my God, I see all these bleeping takes.
What are people saying? That he's he's good?
Washed. He's a bust. DFA. Get rid of him. He's ridiculous. I can't stand watching an at-bat. You haven't seen enough at-bats from him.
Right.
146 plate appearances is not enough. So, for you,
especially
guys,
when you're not playing every day. I mean, you might be playing once every 4 games, once every 3 games. You get a pinch hit opportunity. You're not playing the position that you're used to playing. I mean, there's a lot of factors that are involved with this. And I think something that's a little bit unfair is we look at, well, Junior Caminero is having all this success at 21, 22, 23. Junior Caminero is a unicorn. I don't think, even though Carson Williams, is a quote unquote top prospect, there's a difference between a Carson Williams and a Junior Caminero. There's level to this. And even going back a couple of years with Thou, who shall not be named, number 5, he was a guy that, okay, we knew he was going to be immediately good at 19 years old, but not everyone is like that. There's different types of learning curves. And I think the focal point is he hasn't had enough run or opportunity in the majors, and maybe not enough in A yet. Maybe there's more reps to be done, but just 23 years old. He might not be truly ready until he's 25 or 26. I mean, he did not have the benefit of playing college ball. He was drafted out of high school. So I would think the learning curve is even a little bit steeper with that thrown in there as well. So I understand this, we are in a world where it's what have you done for me lately? And, you see a couple at bats from a guy, he strikes out. You have to let these things breathe. And I mean, think about what people were saying a couple years ago about a Curtis Mead, a Tristan Peters, a Jonathan Aranda. I mean, it really might be a situation. I mean, I don't think the Rays need some sort of long-term shortstop that can also hit. That's key. But it might be a situation where Carson Williams might have to be traded or go to a different town to be able to get that run. Go on a bad team and just get 500 at bats in a season. Well, I don't know. I mean,
you can't keep doing this and also rating him. Like, you can't look. 146 plate appearances. You mentioned a perfect name for the comparison. Jonathan Aranda. In his first 145 plate appearances, Jonathan was hitting 208 with a 310 on base, a 344 slug. That's not good. Who is Jonathan Aranda right now? One of the big three. Now, I'm not saying Carson Williams is going to be an equal hitter like Jonathan Aranda is right now. I'm not saying that at all. It wouldn't even be a hot take to say he will never reach the prowess of Jonathan Aranda at the plate. Like I can consider that not being a hot take. Carson Williams is not going to be as good a hitter as Jonathan Aranda. That should not be a hot take. However, that doesn't mean that he's just completely a bust after 146 plate appearances. Like, guys, this is baseball. It's a daily sport, like you're saying, Kevin. You need daily reps. And maybe he needs that Curtis Mead, Tristan Peters way of saying, hey, you need to play every day, 500 plate appearances. What can you do? Now, maybe that's not with the Rays, but maybe it is. Right. And I just feel like I've seen way too much pitchforks against this kid when he hasn't gotten not even a full season of plate appearances and not constant playing time.
No, that's huge. And you've got a team that is in the middle of the playoff run, so there could be some increased pressure and focus on, hey, you're calling up Carson Williams, he better perform. And I'll tell you what, if I'm playing a little bit devil's advocate, he is struggling in AAA, but maybe he's working on something specifically that he hasn't just quite figured out, whether it's on hitting certain type of pitches or just lowering the strikeout rate. So that's a time to mold your craft a little bit more. But I think we need to cool the brakes on saying, hey, let's get rid of Carson Williams. Although I think he was mentioned as a possible trade candidate. The issue is his value's down right now.
He's down. And well down, right, Kev? Because like you look at the production that he has done so far in this 146, it's not good. It's not good. We're not saying he's been great, and people need to no. He's been very bad. Yeah. We're just against he's completely washed. Please get him off my baseball team. No, it's 146 plate appearances. Yeah. If you as a baseball fan believe that 146 plate appearances between two seasons, not even one full season, between two different seasons is enough to say that guy has nothing and I want him off my team, perhaps baseball is not the hobby you should be having right now.
Right. And think about it like this. I mean, different sport, but how many rookie quarterbacks that are thrown in the fire have that much success? Can you really make a judgment call after they play 3 or 4 or 5 games? So what I really want to see is, what can he do with a full season where he isn't sent down, called back up? And I don't know if that's in 2027 or beyond, but at least give him that true run and true opportunity to prove himself and go through some of the ups and downs. And I imagine this will be a key offseason and spring training for him to really figure it out, because we know, just like in trading Curtis Mead and Tristan Peters and some of these other guys, I mean, the Rays sometimes aren't patient enough where, hey, they feel like, hey, we got to win now, and we just can't wait on these prospects here to do something. So it might have to be a situation where Carson Williams goes to a different city and can hopefully get an opportunity to thrive there. But I will say this, if he doesn't work out, like say the people putting up the pitchforks are right, and we fast forward 5 years from now and say, oh man, he was a bust, that just underscores the lottery ticket essence of not just a prospect, but a top prospect. You can be the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 8, number 10, number 12 guy in the organization. Doesn't mean you're going to be successful one way or the other. But from the things that we've heard about Carson Williams and his work ethic and drive, I think he can do enough to figure out. But he just may not be as good as what he was projected to be. Correct. Hey, he'll be a 35, 40 WAR player in his career. He might be a 8 WAR player.
Right.
Or a 9 WAR player. And that's fine. It's not exactly what you hope for, but maybe he has a career like Tim Beckham or something like that. I don't know.
Which you know what? I think a lot of minor leaguers would kill for a Tim Beckham type of career. Now, reinforcements seem to be coming sooner than later for the Rays rotation. A big thank you to our friends at Amazon for this limited break. This back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. We all know how crazy the back-to-school shopping experience can be. It starts with a few items on the list, and then suddenly you're shopping for supplies, clothes, lunch gear, tech, and about 10 other things that you didn't see coming, and it adds up fast. And you know what? It turns to be 9 p.m. the night before school starts, and somebody suddenly remembers they need folders or notebooks and markers and apparently 12 other things that nobody mentioned until now. And nothing gets the heart rate up quite like emergency school shopping. And I'm convinced Prime's Delivered Tomorrow Before 7 a.m. feature was created exclusively for parents in this moment. So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids, because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. So shop back to school at Amazon and spend less. Thank you so much for tuning in to Locked On Rays and making us your first listen every single day. Shane McClanahan and Griffin Jax might be getting back sooner than later, Kev. Shane McClanahan goes down during the trade deadline. That's where Freddie Peralta comes in. He slots in that position in the rotation. And then on Saturday, Griffin Jax says, hey, Kevin Cash, I'm not feeling that well. It's going to be a bullpen day. Take me to the IL. They do that. It's non-ligament related, as Kevin Cash said, and we have good news on that front as well.
Yes, very good news that McClanahan and Jax may be returning sooner than later. McClanahan really did a bang-up job in a rehab game for AAA Durham, and we saw the fastball got up to pretty much normal levels, retired a bunch of hitters. I mean, it's one thing where, okay, he's doing a rehab stint and it's in low A or something like that. I mean, it's AAA. So if he's able to, retire AAA hitters back to back to back to back to back, it's a good sign and a good showing. Now, whenever he comes back to the Rays, what I will be curious is, are the Rays going to let him, okay, you're back on the mound, we're expecting you to throw 5 1/3, or are they going to start him slow and say, no, let's put an opener in front of you and have you just roll 3 innings, or you can start the game, pitch 3 innings, and then we're going to try to build you up to 3 2/3, then 4 2/3, then 5, and go from there.
That'll be interesting. If we just focus first on Shane, when he comes back, I don't think 6 innings is even on the table. I think 5 at the most.
He's on the limit.
Exactly. He's going to be on a limit. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do the Drew Rasmussen path they did a couple years back where, okay, you pitch 3 innings and then we're going to take you out and it's going to be a rest of a bullpen day. So kind of like a shortened start. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. And then with Griffin Jax, when he comes back, which should be hopefully soon, because Kevin Cash says, I feel like he's in a really good spot after seeing Keith Meister on Monday in Dallas. He's going to take the ball out of his hand for 2 more days, so today and tomorrow, and then get back to throwing. So it could be just a short 15-day IL situation with Griffin Jax. When he comes back, Kev, maybe that's how you shorten the innings, right? Griffin Jax has some history in the bullpen. You can start a game with Shane McClanahan, then you can piggyback Griffin Jax right after him, and you have now 6-7 innings covered.
Yeah.
And then Freddie Peralta would be taking that other spot.
I think that would be the move. I mean, that's one of the reasons you get Peralta in the first place, is to be prepared for these types of situations. And when Jax and McClanahan are back, you tag team them and hopefully get through 5-6 innings, something like that. I believe that McClanahan will be back before Griffin Jax. And then once Jax comes back, then you can work your magic to figure out what you're going to do with the rotation and bullpen from there. I will say that, it's great that Kevin Cash says that Griffin Jax is in a good spot, that he's in a good spot. And, he pretty much was upbeat about his situation. we also have to remember to take Kevin Cash injury comments with a grain of salt, because sometimes he may not have all the details or may not be at liberty to speak to all the details. But if we're just reading the tea leaves, it does appear that both McClanahan and Jax will be back with the Rays sooner than later, which, I mean, the Rays on this road trip have been doing fine with Adam, but at some point you're going to need him back for sure, especially in the playoffs.
You're not wrong with the Kevin Cash comments on injuries, because my goodness, there's always a Mark Topkin tweet with an injury comment on Cash saying, he should be just a little bit of time, and then it's not a little bit of time. So you're right on that, but hopefully, because they actually gave us a timeline of like 2 days without the ball in his hand, and then he begins throwing, I feel really good about that with Griffin, Jax, and then obviously 3 innings for McClanahan. Just like you said, with the fastball working just as it did right before the IL stint, seems like it should be fine. He only needed 30 pitches to get through the lineup. So he sat down all 9 guys. That is impressive. That's really nice. So, there's always, look, I'm not calling both of them that this is happening, but if you're a baseball fan, phantom ILs happen all the time. Could those 2 be it? I don't particularly think so. But I had to say it because it had to be at least acknowledged.
It could be hey, you're going on a West Coast trip and you want to give these guys a breather from travel, and you know that you're facing some weaker competition. You just got Freddie Peralta on board. So maybe the Rays thought that, hey, we can go through this stretch without needing bullets from Griffin, Jackson, Shane McClanahan. I mean, if these truly are, minor ailments or injuries, and maybe this is all solved by just having them pitch a couple innings at a time, is if they try to scale back some of their breaking balls or some of the offerings that might lead to some pitching discomfort, whether it's elbow related or fatigue, whatever it may be. So there could be a little bit of a different pitch mix without hopefully hurting their ERA in numbers if you're only having to get through, the order once, so to speak.
Right.
So there we go. I mean, the Rays have a chance to win 9 straight and also get Shane McClanahan and Griffin, Jax back sooner than later. So there are definitely good vibes for the Tampa Bay Rays. In the meantime, thank you for making Locked On your first listen every day. For your second listen, find the all-night Locked On MLB Game Night, every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned, on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.